Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, it's Talib. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah in truth, and Muhammad is his messenger. That is Islam, that is the Shahada, that is how you become a Muslim. There's a lot of preconceptions and a lot of stereotypes that are around the world these days about Muslims and how Muslims are. Islam is one community. Muslims are essentially one body. So it doesn't matter if I look like this or I don't look like that. I still am a Muslim. And somebody who may look like that or not look like that is still my brother in Islam. Whether he's black, white, Moroccan, Algerian, Filipino, Indian, Indonesian, Australian, from New Zealand, Canadian, anywhere in the world, as long as the person utters those words and utters them upon truth, they are a Muslim. A lot of people seem to have a lot of ideas of how Muslims are and what we're thinking about. But it's only until you start to investigate and start to conduct your research we actually come to find the truth. I always say that the best way to find something is to find it yourself. I can guide you towards something, but it's you that has to do the research. So go and conduct your research and go and see about how Muhammad, peace be upon him, was in his time, and how the companions, the people, his disciples were around him, and how they never discriminated against each other and they never ostracized one another. They were all together and they were all as one. The Muslim community, should be a community that should be like this, interlaced and upon one value and upon one firm value, upon the right way. But some people seem to have a different idea of how Muslims should be and how Muslims must operate. But at the end of the day, if you want something to be correct, you always have to go back to the original source. So it would make sense to go back to the original source and go back to how it was in the times of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Because there's no way or no other time in the history of Islam it was better than that time. So if you as an individual want to improve yourself, then do your research and investigate Islam and look at it openly. And look at the times of Muhammad, peace be upon him, and see what it was like in his time, in his era. See what his best friends were like, the characters of those individuals, and see how strong they were. See what the women were like in that time. Don't look at it in this time and then try to measure the Muslims of this time to how Muslims were in that time, because that's the original source. And that's when things were at its perfection, at the very beginning. Not in these times now. There are Muslims nowadays, who are doing great things around the world. But unfortunately, there are some other people who are doing things under the banner of Islam. And they're not doing great things. They're doing the complete opposite, and they're making things very difficult for Muslims around the world. So, my advice to you is, if you want to find out the truth, then go to the source. Go straight to the source. Don't go to Islam, almost 1500 years later. You have to go back to the original source. Go back to the time of the Prophet. And go back to the Quran. Go to the Quran and read it. And see what it says to you about that. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum.
This product is brought to you by
Oh yeah, Lazim Dawa.